what the last Lok Sabha election in Karnataka looks like. Out of the 28 seats in Karnataka, the BJP won 25 seats in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The Congress won only one, the JDS won, and one was an other independent candidate who actually was supported by the BJP. So the BJP had 26. The BJP starts out at 52% of the vote share. So 52% of the vote share for the BJP, 32. So there's a 20% gap. So if you add the 10 which the JDS has, if this was the starting line in the calculation of the BJP, they wouldn't need to talk about an alliance. But it isn't, because if you see, and I've just done some calculations, and I'll try and explain what we're showing before we actually do this. What you'll see on your screen is the number of seats the BJP, the Congress and the JDS were number one on if I convert the assembly election results into Lok Sabha seats. So if I aggregate each of the assembly segments that make up a Lok Sabha seat, the BJP won on 8 Lok Sabha seats, the Congress on 18, the JDS on 2. This is based on the 2023 assembly election results. If I come next to how many seats was the BJP the runner-up on, and why the runner-up is important is because this is where you are in a strong fight but not strong enough to win. So the BJP was runner-up on 16, the Congress runner-up on 10, and the JDS runner-up on 2. If I now, just simplistically, and of course Lok Sabha election is very different from an assembly election, but just for the sake of a broad analysis, if I add the vote share of the BJP and the Janata Dal secular, and give you a sense of what that picture would look like, the BJP and the JDS together by 2023 vote share estimates would have 18 Lok Sabha seats and the Congress would have 10, whereas last time the BJP had 26, 25 plus 1 independent, plus the JDS had 1 and the Congress had only 1. So that is what the picture would look like. Of course, real elections and a Lok Sabha election very different from an assembly election, but Yashwant Deshmukh, clearly in the BJP's calculation, as our numbers just show, they might have ended up potentially winning 8 and being runner-up on 16 if these assembly trends carry forward to the Lok Sabha, and they don't want to take that risk. They don't want to take that risk. Of course, a Lok Sabha will be different, but they don't want to take any risk, which is why they're willing to give some seats. Himanshu spoke of 4, even if they don't give 4, they give 3 or 2. They're willing to make ground to the JDS so that they don't end up conceding ground to the Congress in the Lok Sabha elections.
Obviously, Rahul, I mean, it's like from the present tally of, 26 out there, even if they have to cede 3 seats to JDS, probably that will end up getting 10 more seats for them, purely by arithmetic. Having said that, the 2023 leads combined, just as you mentioned, almost mirror images the projections that in January MOTN, India Today C-Voter MOTN that we did, where we had said 17 for the Congress and 10 for the BJP and 1 for the JDS, almost on the same line. Having said that, Rahul, one thing is clear from this calculation, that BJP stands to gain more by giving a couple of seats to JDS and safeguarding the rest of the seats, because the Vocaliga votes will certainly go one-way traffic in that case. At the same time, all these calculations are keeping in mind that we are keeping the Congress vote share static for the assembly election and the Lok Sabha election. And that is not going to be the case. We know that very well. In the same exit poll of the Karnataka, where we predicted the Congress sweep and Congress victory, we also asked the question, whom would you have voted for if the Lok Sabha elections would have happened today? And there was almost like 10-point reverse swing. I mentioned this to you earlier. Congress would not be holding on that kind of to vote share. They are likely to drop anywhere between 5 to 10 points, depending on the regions we are talking about. And that is going to be critical as well. So yes, BJP, first of all, between Assembly and the Lok Sabha is going to be very, very different scene. But you are absolutely correct that giving 3 seats away is kind of paying a premium of insurance policy that they get more than 20.
And there is a reason why both parties are keen on this insurance policy, both the BJP and the JDS. I show you how the JDS has been on a declining trend. We ran a cross-tabulation looking at how both the Janata Dal secular and the BSP have been declining in election after election. So which is probably why the JDS is willing to do this kind of an alliance, because if they don't, then they realize their future is very bleak. Already down to 1 Lok Sabha seat last time. If they don't, probably they'll end up with 0. In the assembly, they're reduced to a rump. Here it is. This is the data which is in percentage. To be able to compare, what I've done is I've looked at the fortunes of the BSP and the JDS over 5 elections. So while for a long time, till say the third election, which is 2012-2013 in Karnataka and UP, both these parties were very strong and held up a third front, a third pillar of the state. In 2023 and 22, their vote share is actually coming down. And therefore, both these parties showing a very sharply declining trend. R.K. Upadhyay, if the JDS allies with the BJP in Karnataka in 2024, then the JDS runs the risk of losing out on whatever vote share they have, because if the remaining voters of the JDS get used to voting for the BJP, it may help them on the 3-4 seats that they will fight this time for sure. But in the long term, a party which is already on a very sharp decline then crashes even further. That's the risk the JDS runs with this strategy.
Rahul, I think it's the other way around. It will not be in the interest of BJP to align with JDS at all, because JDS is declining and deteriorating, and they should allow them to dither away. So that will be in the interest of the BJP. I think we are trying to extrapolate the votes shares in the two parties got in the Lok Sabha and the assembly elections. That doesn't happen in Karnataka. BJP has a different kind of a mindset. People have a different kind of mindset while vote for BJP in the Lok Sabha.
No, it depends on the mindset. It's not just the vote share, it's also the mindset. As Yashwant Deshmukh put it correctly, this is an insurance policy. You don't want to take a panga. You say, okay, yes, maybe some balls will move, but I don't want to take a risk. Yes, R.K. Upadhyay.
I just want to make one more point.
Yes.
I just want to make one more point. The BJP can't afford to give any seats to the JDS because it has been rising even in the old Mysore areas. This is their interest to keep that going. And they need to crush JDS and make it a two-horse race. That's the only way they can beat the Congress. If you align with the JDS, it will help the Congress. So I don't think it is in their interest at all to align with the JDS.
Okay.